So, one of the questions I've been hearing a lot from my clients for parenting coaching, and also, in my life, if you ever have a kid and if you're dealing with this now, tantrums are hard, right? We have kids because we want to have a joyful, happy relationship for our family and with our kids, but at the same time, tantrum if you don't know how to handle it well, it could really rob you of the joy of parenting. And so that's why, it's kind of a passion of mine to help my clients with it. But when clients come to me, they want a quick fix. They're understandable, but I usually would introduce them to my approach of maybe more long term solutions, right? And so that you could parenting with choice, with confidence, uh, but also being kind and firm and positive, right? There's no blame, shame, or pain involved with my approach. But with tantrums, I usually talk about the three phases: the before, the during, and the after. Obviously, the during is what a lot of parents having trouble with, and we'll talk about it. But I want to give them a big picture, it's very connection based, and obviously based on research on child development. But here's the thing: the before, looking at your environment. What are the routines? What is the connections you have with your child? What behaviors you're modeling? What are the relationship between you and your partner? All those things really impact how your child would act if they are having a lot of problem with misbehaviors and tantrums, especially if there's a big transition in their life, like you just moved, you have a new baby, you are experiencing some difficulty in your relationship, but also in general, do you have enough time to connect, to be with each other, to get to know them, so they could tell you more about what's going on with them? Because if they don't, then they will usually turn to misbehavior to get your attention. Second, now the next thing you want to think about is the during, right? The during a tantrum. Number one, the fourth step, number one, regulate your emotions. You usually feel it in your body, and a lot of my clients will tell me, I know, I read all these books, I know what to do, but I just can't help it. I'm so triggered, I'm so afraid, I'm so angry. That's why self-regulation, regulating your emotion, is the first step with any of these conflicts in any relationship, right? So then you need to find what's work for you. Some people like me, I like deep breathing, sometimes some ice roller, sometimes cold water, whatever works for you. But you got to find something, and you got to practice it regularly when you're driving the car, when you just have minor annoyances during your day. And then the second thing, once you feel regulated and calm and patience, that you could help your child, then you start going and co-regulate. You get closer to them, offer them a hug if they like hug, or just, use your soft voice saying, I know this is really hard. You're really angry. It's okay. We'll get through it together. Right? So bringing in more calm to their chaos. Don't join them in their chaos. Let them borrow your calm. Then the next step, when you feel them like starting to come down, like like that, and trying to talk, then you could start talking a little bit, not too much, but you were so upset, right? It was really scary, right? Make your best guess. You don't have to be perfect, but they usually will tell you if you are right or not. And they like, oh, I hate it when my brother just take my toys and you always take his side. That's so unfair. Then you validate. This is not the time to correct yet. You validate. You're like, oh, it could feel really unfair. It's make you feel like I don't love you as much as Tommy, huh? Right? You validate. You make them feel seen and heard and held, right? With the emotion. And then you're gonna start to feel them to calm down. Still not time to do correction. This is the time to connect, to make them feel safe again in the connection with you. So you could say something like, would you like something to drink? Would you like a snack? Would you like to go sit down and color a little bit? Or just watch your favorite show for 10 minutes, right? Really double down on the bonding and connection. And then, if you have time, you feel calm and connected again, then you move on to the after, right? The after phase, which is correction. And with correction, it's not lecturing or telling them how wrong they are. It is really guiding them in a cooperative conversation about problem solving or boundary setting. Remind them, hey, in our family, we don't hate each other. In our family, we try to be kind. We don't use those kind of words, right? So that is the time to set boundaries and then help them to think of solution. Next time when that happens, what do you think would be a better way to handle it, right? If they have 3 and up, they usually could starting to participate very well in this kind of conversation. And if not, you are setting the foundation, right? And they will internalize it by the time they are able to verbalize it, right? So remember, it is a long-term game. Parenting is always a long-term game. It's not just about stopping the behavior. It's about what you want to teach them, what you want them to think and feel about themselves and your relationship with them, and what is the kind of person, the kind of life skill and characters you want to instill in them as an adult. So make sure you think of the long game and think of what you could do before to set you and your child up for success, what you do during, and what you could do after.